Okay, honestly, I believe that there's many things at play here. I think electronic algorithm racism, I call it algorithm based racism. And I call it that because there's a severe lack of black people in tech, like out there in Simi Valley. And clearly, black woman, you have been programmed. If you take a look at the thumbnails right before your eyes, now, I showed this to some other people, and there were some guys that I was talking to on Facebook. And they told me, as black men from black men, they told me, being that these women are showing that they really don't care, I don't know why you even use any type of social media that you have to act like you care. Man, look, our women are gone. They're done. I mean, it's nothing but a zombie population of brainwashed Negro females with blonde weaves in their head who, in all actuality, don't care. And the only thing that can unify them together is hatred for themselves and hatred for their own men. When I think back to Bill Cosby, I think of the massive millions of black women that were able to be rallied only to, accuse a man that ultimately had to go to jail as a black man for no more than verbal allegations, what a whole bunch of women pointed at him and said he did. No DNA evidence, none of that. But then these women, and they stood out there with white women and spewed all those white logo, that white feminist logo garbage. And then, the man ends up being innocent. But something like this winds up happening, and then we fast forward in time. A woman stands up and makes a blatant open lie and says, I was struck in the face with a bottle by a black American man who came from one of these black American monkey bitches, and he assaulted me. And these black American people are so horrible. She ends up being proven a lie and was running a scam. But yet, black women led by their hatred of themselves and black men literally sit up there and took no time to fill this woman's pocket with $40,000. $40,000 in no more than a few days. But when a black woman winds up lynched and killed in Florida, and I've been following, man, I've been looking at her sister and her brother's Facebook page, Yolney Lurbin, and man, there's almost no activity. There's no activity. There's almost no interaction. They're literally just standing out there begging for help, begging for people to care or give a damn. I mean, it's sad, man. And the only thing you got to do is go to her page. Her name is Naomi Lurbin, and she's got links. She's got links to the FBI where you can at least file a complaint. Because if they at least get a whole bunch of people filing a hate crimes complaint, at least they'll maybe look into it. Because her sister, they found out more details. Her car doors were open. Her personal items were, thrown all over the car and outside of the vehicle. And then there's scratches on the seats and scratches on the steering wheel. Clearly, this girl was in a struggle. And the police stood up there and looked at all of that. And you know what? When they made the decision to not arrest anybody, man, look, it isn't just this case. If you follow this channel, there's a reason TikTok be trying to take my videos down and eliminate this channel. I've covered this type of stuff for a long time. I talked about the situation in Nashville where the pregnant black woman was shot, and the police did no more than take a police report, man. And we got a group of women who the world doesn't care about them, and violence and genocide is closing in around them, and they're running around in Barbie weaves. And then this woman's sister, I mean, the time period is up. She only had about 10 days to try to get an autopsy. She can still get an autopsy, but the absolute best part of all the stuff she would need to that she would get from an autopsy, it's getting too late. The entire community has just sat there, and when you think about it, it took this Somali woman that ultimately, and then did I mention to you that this Somali woman that scammed black women out of all that money turned around and called them ugly, said their hair was nappy, that Somali women were partially mixed and that they got naturally curly hair and naturally nice bodies? I mean, and that they got a culture. She know who her daddy is, and she didn't come from no ex-slaves. I mean, just talked all this crap and then got $40,000. And what does it say about a group of women when one of them winds up lynched? And man, I'm telling you, the mentality of black people and black women in this case is no different than a racist bigot sitting up in a damn Archie Bunker lazy boy smoking a cigar, screaming about, I don't care nothing about that fucking nigger. To hell with them. I don't care. Good. So we got black people being lynched in 2023, and you got an entire community that is sitting up and just letting it happen. But I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say this. So many women used to brag about how educated they are. And I would always ask, what the hell are you educated in? Because black people are not being educated in the fields of relevance about things that are going on. Now, there's another theory that I have about what you're looking at, and that is simply programming and radiating. Whenever there's something done bad, like for example, when you think about going back to that Somalian female, you had countless channels of black females. See, whenever you search any topic, like on YouTube, for example, the only thing you get is a bunch of corporate channels. That's it. You would never even think that there was hardly people on YouTube who just voice their opinion and make videos anymore, because they got an entire system set up to where anything you ask, you are going to get the corporatized, American endorsed, programmed view of everything. Like if you ask, can trans women have a period? You're not going to get a definite no. You're going to be led around from channel to channel to site that are going to ideologically sit up there and tell you some BS about, well, if a dude takes a bunch of hormones, eventually he'll start to cramp in the stomach. Can an adult male calling himself a T-woman have a period? The answer is clearly no. But you can't get a clear answer on YouTube. But see, when this woman lied about being hit in the face, you had hundreds of channels of every which type of random ass person that you ain't heard of in years. Just random ass women with no more than a few hundred followers, and some of them with thousands of followers, to all come out and talk about how evil black men are for what they did to that poor Somali woman. But then the very second, that the scam is revealed, when the scam is revealed, not only do big giant corporate channels like the Breakfast Club don't go back and apologize, but none of these channels went back and apologized, and you only got a dozen or so that are put out there that show and display with people that are putting on blast the fact that this woman was a scammer. That's electronic algorithm based racism. And there's people behind your computers, behind your cell phones, behind your laptops, behind your TV that control everything that you look at. And when a black woman winds up lynched in Florida, man, I done read some articles, and I done sent no more than about 4 or 5 emails, nasty emails, to a whole bunch of these articles, because these articles, they're blatantly lying. A lot of these articles say, oh, well, Yoli Urban was discovered in her home with lynched. And I'm like, did you really write that she was discovered in her home? She wasn't discovered in her home. She was discovered in some people's backyard. I'm like, you have written in your article she was discovered at her home. You racist piece of shit. You're aiding in a cover-up. But I'll do more updates on this story. Please act like you care and give a damn. I'm out.